with any certainty, but the sight of the stars make me dream.
Welcome, everybody, to the Extreme Bastards Wrestling Podcast, channel number 2. No, guys, we did not forget about this channel, but today we figured we'd come together. And it's been pretty emotional for me. I'm pretty sure it's for both of you.
Yeah.
With the recent passings of Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt, especially Bray Wyatt, because Bray Wyatt had a whole career ahead of him, And it's still hard for me to process and stomach that he's no longer here.
Plus Bray just, a few months ago, Bray just had a daughter. So, and Bray's wife. I feel bad for Bray's kids.
Yeah. This was just... this took me out of coming in here tonight, out of what's currently still my family vacation, to bring me here with y'all tonight and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure everybody knows. Yeah, obviously we know Terry Funk, but we kind of knew this was expected, but the whole thing with Bray was completely out of the blue and shocking. That we didn't think, at first we didn't think it was real, but then we found out that Triple H did tweet about it and got word from his father, Mike Rotunda, who we all know as Erwin R. Shyster, or IRS, in the golden era of WWE era, where he teamed with not just his brother-in-law, Barry Windham, who's a member of the Four Horsemen, or one of the legendary members of the Four Horsemen, but also teaming with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, who also has a family history in the business.
Mm-hmm.
It's very true. Yeah, I'm still lost. Go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say, all I can say is thank you, Terry Funk, for an awesome career and memorable matches. And I'm very sorry, Bray, that you passed, man. Thank you for so many great matches in WWE. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
My prayers go out to Bray and his family, and yes.
Most definitely. It's kind of hard to talk about because, like I said, Bray Wyatt still had a full career ahead of him. He still had a lot to accomplish in the wrestling business,
And he came back to the company in 2022, so, after the Fiend, after he left for a year or so, he came back,
Yeah, he was one of the many people Triple H brought back.
Yeah, and just like a week ago, I was on YouTube, and I think it was Solo Monster I was watching, and he was talking about how they're already planning a Bray Wyatt return come October. Well, it sounded like it might have been in October.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of looking forward to it because, Bray Wyatt brings a lot to the table. He had a really, he had a great character, very good on the mic. Very creative. I mean, that's one thing I could say. His promos were his promos. He wrote his own promos. You know.
Yeah.
And to me, his promo style to me has always been kind of similar to Jake the Snake Roberts. Just the way he delivers his promos in that dark way.
Yeah, it's like it's a mixture. Yeah, you mentioned with Jake, but it's also kind of a mixture of like some of the gimmicks with him. It's kind of like some like Foley, like the Three Faces of Foley stuff. He has the fun, go-loving style that's kind of pretty much like Dude Love, and then you have the more deranged stuff like, you know, that's what the Eater World is kind of similar to like Mankind, and then you got the more destructive one. The Fiend is more comparable to Cactus Jack, and that his spooky style promos also is like a mixture of The Undertaker.
That's very true, yes. Yeah, it's definitely, I'd say in the last decade, Bray Wyatt definitely has had the best character that has come along since, you know, guys like The Rock, Stone Cold, Hogan, Undertaker, etc., you know.
Hey, Ryan, I want to get your opinion on this. WrestleMania 30, should have it been Bray Wyatt breaking Taker's streak instead of Taker losing to Brock and Bray losing to John Cena? I want your opinion on that. Right? Oh, I was asking, should WrestleMania 30, should have it been Bray versus Taker instead of Taker, Brock, or Bray, John Cena? Would have it made sense?
Oh, I don't know if Bray was ready for kind of a match like of a magnitude of someone like Undertaker, though. It was.
But passing the torch, dark gimmick to dark gimmick, though. You know.
Yeah, I could probably see that. Yeah, possibly.
See, what I think is, like Undertaker, okay, maybe not at WrestleMania 30. I don't know, just say Undertaker beat Brock Lesnar. We move on to 31. Maybe there's an Undertaker Sting match instead of a Sting Triple H match, you know, and Undertaker, I don't know, beat Sting. I mean, okay. So we keep the streak alive, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But dude, I remember Taker. He said he would have wanted Roman. Would then count his loss to Roman at 33 then? I mean, if he wanted Roman to go over and be the one to break the streak, you know,
can't
stop the man for letting that happen. He's the one that said it. It's like all of them. Even Taker said that he would have wanted Roman to go over. Edge had even said that it was like Roman's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe at the time. See, that's a tough one because I'm kind of torn because I think Bray Wyatt should have definitely been the one to beat the streak eventually. I don't know. It's a weird one, but I get it because Roman was the one they wanted to push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird one for me.
And also, Ben, you and me were talking off stream how WWE fucked over Bray several times with his gimmick.
Oh, I think they have. Like, to me, WrestleMania 30, I think Bray Wyatt should have beat John Cena. John Cena didn't need that win.
I mean, granted, Cena gave that win back to him later on at 36, so.
Well,
that's true, and it
was a bad match.
Didn't Bray Wyatt beat, I'm trying to think, didn't Bray Wyatt beat Cena at Extreme Rules in 2014?
He did. Yeah. He did beat Cena at Extreme Rules. But I guess it was kind of to make up for what happened in Mania 30, I guess. So it's like, you know, it's like, that win for Bray was to make up for 30. And plus, I think the Firefly Funhouse match against Cena was one of the best ones of that night at 36, including the Boneyard match.
So I'm going to give my 5 favorite Bray matches right off the bat. Number 5, the House of Horrors match between Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton.
Oh, no.
Number 4 is the deletion match between Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. Or what was Matt Hardy's gimmick at that time? Forget.
Woken. It was the Woken version of the broken Matt Hardy gimmick.
Woken Matt Hardy.
That's right. Which was not as good.
Yeah. Number 4. I'm trying to think. Him and Taker at WrestleMania 31. Pretty good. I'm giving that number 4.
Yeah.
For what it was.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Oh, that was number 3.
No, that was number 4. Oh, no, that is number 3. Number 3. My bad. You're right, Ryan. Number 3. Number 2 is his first big match. Him versus Kane in the fire match at number 2.
Oh, yeah, the Inferno match.
The Inferno match.
I forgot they had a match in that.
And then probably, I think, his best match. When he won the WWE Championship and the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, the Chamber match. Ooh, I don't know.
That's just my...
Okay, trying to think of... Because it's a lot easier to figure out some Bray matches that I like than it is Terry Funk. Because I can only think of 2 matches for Terry Funk.
Yeah, I can think of 3 or 4.
Let me think. Number 5. Oof. Let me get the obvious. I'm gonna go from first to the number 1 to number 5. I think the top one. I think for me, there's some good. I think number 1 is the Firefly Funhouse match against John Cena.
I didn't pick that one.
I liked it. It was like, okay, cool. It's like, okay, it's a good follow after the Boneyard match was kind of a success, and that one was, I guess, kind of a success. Those are the 2. When you think of Mania 36. For both nights, those 2 are the matches that people are probably remembering. It's the Firefly Funhouse match and the Boneyard match. Let me think. Okay, number 2. Probably... Ooh, let me try to think what match. I would probably think, what did I have up there? Ooh, shoot. Did he? Wait. Did he ever have, Surely might have had... How many Hell in a Cell matches did he have? I'm trying to remember. I'm thinking the infamous one with Seth.
Don't put your brain too much.
I'm trying to think. Okay, 8... No, wait. Shoot. Number 2 would probably be... Okay, let me think. Yeah, I'm gonna go with... I know there's a Taker one up there. Okay, so I'm pretty much at this point, I'm ditching all the numbers and figuring out which ones are in there. Okay, so yeah, the Firefly Funhouse one in a heartbeat. I'm gonna go with the tag match. Him and I think it might have been Luke Harper versus the Brothers of Destruction at Survivor Series.
Ooh,
I think it was. Yeah. I think was it Luke? I can't remember if it was either Luke or Eric.
It was
Luke.
Luke.
How fitting is that? That's kind of fitting, Dad. That's pretty fitting.
It was him and Huber with Strowman and Rowan.
Strowman's
outside the ring. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that one's probably the one match he had with Taker that I think I prefer.
Which they both lost that match to Taker and Kane.
I'm totally fine with that. That's probably the one match I'm thinking to myself that's probably up there with him. And it's like, I mean, come on, he's doing his Survivor Series. It was 25 years of the Dead Man at that point, so it's like.
Oh, Ryan, remember the him and Finn Balor where he revealed himself as Sister Abigail and that hot match.
I don't want to know that. And then you know what happened? I think he got an injury or got sick, and then they had to replace him with AJ pretty much in that match.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other matches for him at that point. Okay. Probably. How What other matches? I'm trying to think of what other matches he would have. That's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult to think with Bray Wyatt matches. I'm trying to think.
Him and Daniel.
Yeah, I would probably have that Matt Hardy Wyatt, the Ultimate Deletion match that would be in there.
What about the Rumble 2014? Him versus Daniel Bryan.
No.
Or him versus Daniel Bryan at Hell in a Cell, when they did the Cell match.
They did a Hell in a Cell match?
This was early on.
Let me think.
You know what? We never got Bray versus Brock.
No, I don't think we ever did.
Brock, no. I know Brock.
Oh, supposedly Brock didn't want to work with him.
No.
That's what I've heard at least, which is stupid.
Yeah, this might have been around early 2016, but I'm probably thinking I think Brock did have a feud. I think Brock did have a feud. Brock did have a feud with some of them. I don't know which member, though.
Because that was when we got Bray versus Seth at Great Balls of Fire that year. Ugh, that was a horrible pay-per-view.
Oh, man, I totally forgot about that one.
A pay-per-view that did not need to come back.
Great Balls of Fire.
That was 17. That was when Seth was a babyface at that point.
Yeah.
Let me think.
Him and Jericho had a match, right?
God, I don't even remember.
I know okay, so I said Firefly Funhouse. I said
him and Roman.
Brotherhood of Destruction versus Harper and himself. And then there was the Ultimate Deletion, and then there was there any match with the Fiend?
Fiend and Roman. He had a bunch of matches with Roman.
Especially early on.
Yeah.
No, I think I know this was pre-Fiend and pre-Tribal Chief eras of Bray and Roman. I'm trying to think of the Tribal Chief Roman.
Yeah, him and the Wyatt family versus the Shield matches were always
I remember that.
Yeah, that's got to be up there. That's 4.
Which one though? Because they had a bunch.
Oh, the one at Chamber.
Yeah, that's their best one.
Oh yeah.
And then him and the Wyatt family versus New Day had some good matches.
Oh yeah, that's right. But I forgot who was in the Wyatt family at that point.
It was Rowan, Huber, and Hoot.
Wow.
Oh yeah, by the way,
Harper.
his nickname was. By the way, Wyatt's nickname for the boys was Hoot, which I think is kind of cool.
You know? Yeah, that's why I keep seeing. That's why I keep seeing some people saying Hoot.
Hoot. Yeah.
If I had to think, oh boy.
You know, my daddy was a shrimp boat captain. Oh god, that's the FCW promo is still my favorite all-time Bray Wyatt promo. That and the Sermon to the Snake. Those are my 2 favorite Bray Wyatt promos.
I'm trying to think of one more. If I had to think of one more Bray match that probably stands out to me in the back of my mind,
Didn't Bray and Ambrose have a match? Singles match together?
Yeah, that 20.
Yeah.
When, it was like they had that 2014 feud before Bray would have the program with Taker.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That was like, no, that's that.
See, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, that's just like that doesn't make sense. That was just like, why? It's like. That is like, you got someone who's kind of like a Mick Foley gimmick against another who has something like a Mick Foley gimmick. It just didn't.
You know what?
It didn't
Around
work.
2017, I think Bray Wyatt did an interview with a wrestling station.
I will say this. I want to say this. If it was Dean Ambrose versus Fiend, now that would be pretty freaking awesome if that ever did happen. But unfortunately, that never did happen at all.
what was I saying? Bray Wyatt talked around right before WrestleMania 32. Bray did pitch an idea to Vince that his number one dream match would be to fight Hunter at a WrestleMania match. That was originally in the works for WrestleMania 32.
I mean, yeah, that was never gonna. Well, I think all of that was like, I think they eventually made up for. I think they made up for that at the pay-per-view before. So that was like, I'll give me the match against him at Fastlane. That's the best I could do, pal.
No, Hunter actually was on board. Vince wasn't.
Wasn't Hunter champion at the time?
Yeah, he was.
This was right before Hunter won the belt. Originally, before the Rumble, Hunter was going to come out and he was going to get attacked by one of the Wyatt family members. And then Hunter would disappear for a long period of time. Supposedly, the story goes.
I would have given it to Bray in the match, but then I wouldn't mind. That would be pretty cool to see Wyatt versus Reigns at Mania, and that being the main event. I'm like, that would actually be pretty damn cool. That would be.
Did Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton ever go at it? I can't even remember.
Mania 33 for the WWE title, and then the House of Horrors match.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
yeah. And then there's and then there's their rivalry around what would this been pandemic, I believe. So this was around the end of 2020, going into 2021, pretty much when he was the Fiend, of course.
Okay.
So they've had history before.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey, you want to know what? Yeah. It's hard for Bray because he had so many good matches and then he had some duds. Ugh.
Well, I'd have to let you guys talk about the duds. I haven't really watched.
You know what's wrong before that? AEW tweeted out their thing for Bray. So even AEW reached out and said their, prayers.
AEW did, Impact Wrestling did. Pretty much everybody's paying tribute to Bray Wyatt, and rightfully so because he deserves it. I mean,
well, there's another rumor floating around that supposedly Mike Rotunda wants Bray to go into the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 40.
That would make sense. And he definitely should. I mean...
And if we want to keep talking wrestling, well, there's the Edge news. There's rumors that is Edge going to AEW. Is it not? I don't know. I want to wait. I'm just waiting and see. If I see Edge pop up on Collision, it's confirmed. If I don't see Edge in AEW, then he's officially retired from wrestling in the ring.
Well, Edge is still under contract till the end of September.
Yeah.
So he can't go nowhere till his contract is up, obviously. But I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, he's going to be 50 this year, so it's hard to tell what Edge will do.
Yeah. Edge versus CM Punk, though. Good match.
But yeah, man, Bray Wyatt, man, there was still a lot of matches he definitely could have had. I mean, I was just sitting there thinking of like potential opponents in the future for Bray Wyatt.
Oh, sorry, Ben. I just got a notification for Foley's pod, the Mick Foley podcast. He just uploaded a video about remembering Terry Funk. So I just subscribed to that Foley's pod, by the way. So it's Mick Foley's pod.
Okay. Good podcast. I listen to it sometimes. But, Bray Wyatt, holy cow. He could add I guess they were starting a program with LA Knight before Bray got sick.
Then they
he was about to have a match with Lashley at the time.
That's right.
And then after that, they were going to start a program with him and his brother Bo Dallas, with Bo being dressed up as, well,
Uncle Howdy.
right, as Uncle
I didn't
Howdy.
hear about that.
But that fell to the wayside. Then Bray supposedly got sick, and then
I think we now know is, believe it or not, COVID related.
Yeah, which is damn.
Yeah,
and it exacerbated his heart issues pretty much, and he was on the road to recovery, but then he was
and I heard supposedly that he was in good spirits, talking to everyone, happy, wanting to come back.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
And then, I don't want to make fun of God, but God called him and snatched him. Sadly.
It's a shame, man. It really is.
Well, plus also, there's the rumors going back to, I think, 2018, 2019 about Vince saying that Bray Wyatt has had weight issues at points in his WWE career.
Yeah, I could totally see that there is. Yeah, I could, now looking back at some of those, he did look like he had some weight issues and stuff like that.
Because when he returned, he looked heavier than he normally did.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a possibility too.
That could create problems too, pretty much. If you're a little bit overweight and stuff like that, so it's like that kind of hits a little bit home for a good chunk of people like myself, I guess, in some cases. I don't know if you're in that overweight category, Ben, but then I think also John and stuff like that, we're all in that overweight. I guess for me being in that, if there's possibility he might have had the diabetes and that mixed with the COVID.
We don't know that. We don't know that. That's the thing. We don't know that.
But it's just the thing of that. He's like, I could totally see he might have put on some weight and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah. Now looking back, I'm like, yeah, he does look a little bit overweight. He might have been pre-diabetic, or he might have been, and
he couldn't have been. And here's the thing, here's the thing, he couldn't have been, and that could have just caused his heart to just, go. Which is scary to say, but
yeah.
And you got to think, wrestling is much. Got to think all that stress too in the wrestling business.
I mean, he wouldn't have been the first in that company that's been
pretty
much overweight. I mean,
Yokozuna,
Andre the Giant, obviously.
Earthquake, Bam Bigelow. They were all big guys.
Rosie, Vader,
Umaga, Rikishi.
I wouldn't say Umaga was overweight. He looked pretty. Yeah, he looked bulky. He looked pretty bulky. He wasn't overweight like you think Bray. And you look at Bray and you look at Umaga, it's like, oh yeah, there's kind of a difference when he comes down to it. Like, I think Umaga was bulky at best.
Well, here's the thing. Bray originally debuted even before the Bray gimmick as Husky Harris when he joined Nexus. And you got to think about that. Then he went straight.
He's had a weight problem, I would think.
Well, it wasn't as bad back then. You couldn't notice it.
Yeah, you could. It was later on you start to see. Okay, yeah. Now looking back at some of them, but then you see years go by, and he's looking a little bit. Yeah, I would think around. Yeah. Trying to think of a timeline. Like I'm thinking, okay, when he was with Matt, I'm like, oh, definitely, I can see there's a little bit. He looks a little bit chubby around that time, and then you see him coming back. I'm like, oh boy, he does look a little bit really chubby.
And then, especially in the Fiend, he looked good. I mean, when he first came back, it looked like he dropped some pounds when he came back under the Firefly gimmick and the Fiend gimmick. And I don't know. After that, it seemed like he just let himself go again. When he came back.
Yeah.
It happens. some wrestlers can be in great shape for their whole career. Once they retire and become legends, there's a big change sometimes. You know.
Yeah, you look at Rikishi. Yeah, he's been big for quite a bit. I mean, that's kind of what he was.
From what I heard.
Even during his heyday, you know, I'm kind of surprised he's still kind of around pretty much. It's surprising.
I mean, some people are just naturally big.
Yeah.
Well,
Andre, Yoko.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, like, some people are big bone too, and that tends to make you look heavier than what you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It tends to make.
No, I know.
Yeah, and then for some of those people, there was no treatment. You think of Andre, there was no treatment back.
Well, speaking of why Bray left after the Fiend gimmick, WWE wasn't going to pay him. Supposedly, this is from what some of Bray's friends and people said. WWE wasn't going to pay him. They weren't going to listen to any of his ideas he had. Vince McMahon would always make fun of his weight whenever he was around. Truth. And Bray just had enough at that point, you know.
Yeah.
But I was surprised he never left for another company, though.
Yeah,
he just stayed at home. He basically was just being a father, pretty much.
He stayed at supposedly he stayed at home, raised his kids with JoJo. Just got supposedly that's when Bray. What I read online in articles and stuff was when Bray started exercising, working out, getting back into ring shape. This was around 2019, 2020, 2021 is when Bray started getting back into ring shape. And then after WWE let him go, after the Fiend, he came back and he just didn't look the same. You know, despite his mic skills being there, when you watch that Extreme Rules and you see him come out, to me, when I saw that, I said, Bray got bigger. That was the first thought I got, and be like, odd. You know.
Like, that's kind of what happens. It's like...
It happens, you know. Sometimes you can have a good run in a company. You can be in the best shape, and then like I said, shit will just hit the fan on you fast, and then you can kind of revert back to old habits, you know. Wow. That's how I feel about it, you know. I don't know if I didn't want to bring that up, but that's what I've heard other people say about Bray Wyatt, so.
I mean, there's always been big guys in wrestling, though. I mean, going all the way back to Abdullah Butcher, you know, guys like that.
Butcher, Haystacks,
King Kong Bundy.
King Kong Bundy.
Yeah.
Haystacks
Speaking of that,
Calhoun, Andre the Giant. You know, it's
Haystacks was like 600 pounds.
Speaking of that, I was
maybe even 9 or something like that.
Hey, Ryan, speaking of that, and the segueing into Terry Funk, another legend. Which, rest in peace, Funker.
Yeah, a lot of respect, but he's someone that's like, he was never part of my generation. He was probably more in
He's the original Extreme. He's the original Extreme wrestler. He is the original cowboy wrestler.
I mean, yeah, but even then, he's related. He's in one of the more iconic wrestling families of all time, in the Funks, pretty much. You know, everyone thinks, they think Terry. They even think of Dory Funk Jr. and Dory Funk and all that stuff.
Yeah, but I have my slide. Oh, sorry, Dan. I'll let you go.
Yeah. As far as Terry Funk goes, first time I can remember seeing Terry Funk was on WWF back in the mid '80s, probably around '85. And he was wrestling. Well, he wrestled Hulk Hogan in a match on a Saturday night's main event. Maybe that's '86, like early '86. That's like the earliest memory I have of Terry Funk. And he was in WWF for a little bit. I actually still have my LJN rubber figure of Terry Funk. It's in my closet, locked away. I've seen him feud with Rick.
Yep, Ric Flair.
This big rubber LJN figures that WWF used to have. I don't know if you've ever seen them before.
No.
Yeah, he was managed by Jimmy Hart. He was managed by Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
right.
made me
Jimmy
thinking
Hart
to myself, I wonder how long Hogan and Jimmy have been friends. That might have been where they were friends. That's when they started being friends, probably. Because I know Hulk and Jimmy like each other and hang out sometimes.
Actually, Hogan and Jimmy Hart have been friends since pretty much when Hogan first started. Like in the territories they met back in 79.
Yeah. I was going to list off my favorite Funk matches. I can already list some. Terry Funk versus... Oh, sorry.
But no, as far as Terry Funk goes, I had something else to say now. I kind of forgot. Oh, yeah. Terry Funk was obviously in WrestleMania 2. It was Terry Funk and Dory Funk. Boy, it's called Hot Funk in WWF.
I think it was in 2 WrestleManias, right, Ben? He had another WrestleMania where he won a tag team championship with Mick Foley against who was it?
New Age Outlaws.
Yeah.
But no, it's Terry Funk and Hot Funk. Well, it's Dory Funk going up against. I think they went up against the Junkyard Dog and was it Ricky? No, it wasn't Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Hmm.
Man, I can't think of Junkyard Dog's partner now in that match.
I was going to list my favorite Terry Funk matches. I have Terry Funk versus... Oh, sorry, Ben. I was just listing my favorite Terry Funk match. Funk versus Abdullah the Butcher. Underrated match. Terry Funk versus Eddie Guerrero, WCW. Yes, they had a match against each other. Very underrated. Any match between Terry Funk and Mick Foley was always going to be a barn burner. I can't pick just one. I just got to say, any match between Foley and Terry Funk, you knew it was going to get crazy.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch.
Terry Funk, I think, what was it? Not really a match, but Return of the Funker is another great one. Terry Funk versus Hulk Hogan. That happened.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Him as Chainsaw Charlie, didn't really care for that. It was a neat gimmick, but
Yeah, but you knew it was Terry Funk. I'm like,
it was Terry Funk.
It's like, come on, Vince. This is Terry Funk. You can't fool me with this Chainsaw Charlie gimmick.
Yeah. You know what would have been cool, Ben?
What's that?
We would have, during the Attitude Era, would have been the right time to get a Funk versus Foley one-on-one WrestleMania match. That should have happened.
You know what? Yeah, that probably should have happened now that I think about it. Yeah, that was a lost opportunity there. Well, then there was that famous...
Sorry.
Was it at WrestleMania? I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think. Was that at WrestleMania 14 or was it on a Monday Night Raw episode where the New Age Outlaws put Terry Funk in a dumpster with Mick Foley and they pushed him off the stage?
It was actually on the WrestleMania.
It might have been on Raw.
It was either on Raw or on the card. I gotta look.
I remember it though. It just kind of I think it was on Monday Night Raw that happened.
So since we're on that topic, how would you book a Terry Funk versus Mick Foley WrestleMania during the Attitude Era? Out of those WrestleManias, what would have been the perfect WrestleMania to do? And what would the storyline be?
Wait, between Terry Funk and Mick Foley?
During any of the WrestleManias during the Attitude Era, what would the storyline be? Or how would you create the storyline? What would the match be? Yeah. And what WrestleMania would it be at during the Attitude Era?
Oh man, that's a good question. Maybe WrestleMania 2000. Well, Terry Funk would have been in the WCW by then. Okay, maybe WrestleMania 15. We'll book it in Philadelphia of all places, because WrestleMania 15 was in Philly that year, home of BCW. So you could have booked any kind of match really. You could have booked a death match, maybe a street fight match, a hardcore match. It could have been any kind of match really. Or what's that one match called? 3 Stages of That would have been interesting. A 3 Stages of Hell match at WrestleMania 15. That could have been good between Terry Funk and Mick Foley.
Which version of Mick Foley? Well, it's obvious who it has to be, right?
I mean, it's got to be Cactus Jack to me. Well, yeah. 3 Stages of Hell, or you could really make it interesting. I don't know how the fuck you would do it though.
Yeah, each one would be a different gimmick of each of them.
You know what?
Would it be like you have your regular Terry Funk or something like I think the more modern, and then you'd have the cowboy Terry Funk, and then there would be the Chainsaw Charlie one. So it would be maybe say Chainsaw Charlie versus Cactus Jack, and then you'd have say the traditional, not the cowboy, the regular. Terry Funk facing Jude Love, and then you'd have basically, I guess in this case, it's Cowboy versus
the crazy middle-aged man Terry Funk, I guess.
Ryan,
I think that's the Cowboy Terry Funk versus Mankind. That's kind of
I don't want to see Chainsaw Charlie versus Mankind. Cactus Jack. It doesn't make sense.
But that makes all the more sense because. You know that.
I want to see crazy Terry Funk versus Cactus.
Well, we kind of seen that in ECW.
Yeah. You know, another match we never got in WWE. We never really got a singles between Funk and Undertaker.
Wow, that's a really good point there. I don't think they've ever wrestled each other.
Not that I can think of.
Huh. Yeah, that could have been interesting.
Imagine this. Instead of Hunter Triple H at 2000. This is just another idea.
Hold on. There was a moment where Taker. Yeah, there was a moment. I think this was around Undertaker. Says here, the Undertaker destroys the Godfather, D'Lo Brown, and Terry Funk.
But that's a tag match. That's not a singles match.
That was more of like a run-in, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
But if I'm booking a Taker versus Funk match, it's gonna be Ministry Taker. It would make sense. That or Badass Taker versus Funk.
Yeah. Be interesting.
Taker comes out on the motorcycle, starts talking shit. Terry Funk gets sick and tired of it and comes out. Terry Funk
It'd be a good hardcore match.
Yeah. And imagine that. Imagine at that point, Terry Funk beats Undertaker Street. I know. Sounds crazy. I'd never think of it, but just imagine. You know? I
mean, I don't know. That would be interesting now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. A Terry Funk Undertaker feud.
Undertaker
you
versus
jackass.
Yeah.
You are no dead, bro. I don't know how the promos would go. It'd be pretty entertaining though.
Now let me tell you something, Undertaker. Let me tell you something, Taker. You ain't no damn cowboy. I remember when I was on my farm and I was shoveling shit for my horse because I love that horse. Your horse is a goddamn motorcycle taker. Jackass. Yeah, I mean, that's the best I can do.
That's probably how it would probably be.
Yeah. and he starts going in, or he starts going into like, you say you're an American badass. I'm the original badass. You know.
Be cool. Man, that'd be kind of interesting.
Okay, we're on the topic then. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
Sorry, it's also humid, so the humidity, it's also hot here.
It was freaking hot as shit today. It's supposed to be hotter tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got my air conditioner on blast right now, so I'm fine for the moment.
Damn.
2 air conditioners on blast and a fan. They're not helping on my end.
So before stream, we were talking about a dream match of Bray Wyatt versus Terry Funk.
That wouldn't work. That would not work
at all. Yes, it would.
I think it probably would work.
Yeah.
No. The only way I could possibly see it work, Fiend versus Chainsaw Charlie. That is the only one that I would think would work.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
That'll be fact.
Yeah.
Might work.
But, okay, Ben, what would your 5 dream matches with Terry Funk be? You had to 5 any of your wrestlers.
Okay.
That would have been great matches.
Well, you mentioned the one Undertaker versus Terry Funk, definitely. Possibly Kane versus Kane versus Terry Funk, I think would be cool.
Shawn Michaels versus Terry Funk?
Nah.
Triple H?
I don't know if I'd want to see that.
No.
I'm thinking here,
Impero? No.
Crow Stingver? Nah, that might have. I don't even know if that happened.
Never happened.
Nah, we'll skip that one. Boy, let me think here, because Terry Funk has pretty much wrestled everybody. There's definitely people that he hasn't wrestled. Terry Funk versus... See, I think Terry Funk versus Bray Wyatt would be my pick, only because they're generation wrestlers. You could bring family involved in that storyline.
Terry Funk versus Macho Man.
That could have been entertaining. I don't even know if those two ever wrestled each other, to be honest.
They never wrestled each other in the ring.
I'm back. I think to myself, they might have been in the company at the same time.
At the same time, but never wrestled each other.
I don't know. I don't think they ever wrestled each other.
That's interesting.
Not that I can think of.
No.
I mean, you could have Terry Funk go up against... I'm trying to think of a good modern wrestler. Oh, I got it. Terry Funk against John Moxley. Yes.
Yes.
That would be interesting.
Yes.
That would be interesting. So,
Hear me out.
3.
Terry Funk
2
versus...
more.
All right, I'll let you go, then I'll give mine.
Okay, so I need 2 more. So we got Funk versus Undertaker, Funk versus Wyatt, Funk versus Moxley, Funk versus... That wouldn't work. Those two wrestled each other. Never mind.
Funk and Edge.
See, they already wrestled each other.
Oh yeah, that is true. It was ECW One Night Stand.
Yep.
2006.
Did we ever get Funk versus Randy Orton?
No, I don't think we did.
No.
That could be. You know what? That could be interesting too.
If it was young Legend Killer Orton, that would be something.
Because Bob Orton.
Throw that in there right there. Yeah, Terry Funk versus Randy Orton. That could have been good.
Yeah, we're talking.
Yeah, I don't think they've never wrestled each other.
Yeah, if it was Legend Killer or Brandy,
and you would have to get Bob Orton involved in that feud somehow.
And last but not least, Terry Funk versus Mr. McMahon. That could be really entertaining. Terry Funk, kiss my ass.
Yeah.
All right, so I got 5 3 matches, and then 5 matches that I could. 5 wrestlers. All right, here's mine. 5 3 matches, 5 matches, 5 wrestlers he wrestled, but wrestlers that I would want to see those matches in WWE that never were in WWE. All right, so here's my 5 3 matches. Number 5. I'm gonna go with Terry Funk. I'm gonna go Terry Funk and Scott Hall. That'd be an interesting one.
Could be.
Terry Funk and Jake Roberts.
That would be good.
All right, down to 3. You went Moxley. I'm gonna go with Terry Funk and CM Punk. That could have been interesting.
Actually, those two did wrestle each other.
Really?
In the early days of TNA, they wrestled each other.
Yeah,
but you could recreate it, though.
Yeah, recreate it. Then I'm not going to say that. Funk and Jericho would be interesting.
I don't know if those two ever wrestled each other or not.
I don't think so.
I don't think.
That'd be great.
That would be cool.
Funk and Jericho. Funk and McMahon would be fun. You'd have to do it at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That'd be fun just watching them two beat the hell out of each other.
And then this one's a tie. So this number 1's a tie. Funk and Bray Wyatt. And then I'm going to go with Funk and... Let me think first. Funk and John Huber would have been interesting.
That would be Who'd you say, John? You said John who?
Hubert. John Hubert. A.K.A.
Okay. I know you're talking about
Luke Harper. Luke Harper.
That would be interesting.
Yes. And then my 5 matches that Funk has faced outside of WWE, that'd be a good WrestleMania match that we never got at WrestleMania. Number 5, I would like to see a Mania match between Funk and Ric Flair.
Could be cool.
Funk and Jerry Lawler at a WrestleMania.
Oh, that could be interesting.
You can guess what my number 1's going to be, but I'm going to say that, so no spoiler. But you can kind of guess.
Probably.
Don't say it. Oh, don't say it. Yeah, but you can guess. All right, that's my number 3. Shit. I want to see Funk and Eddie again. They only wrestled once. I would like to see that again.
Be cool.
Number 2. Did Funk ever face Jeff Jarrett?
That's a really good question. I don't know. They probably did. That one I can't remember.
I want to see Funk and number 2. I want to see Funk and Foley at a Mania. You want to see that?
Yes.
And then number 1 at a WrestleMania, just because that egg-sucking dog Dusty Rhodes versus Terry Funk at a WrestleMania. Come on.
That would be good.
Come on. Yeah.
All right, so we did Terry Funk. Now it's time to do
Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt. 5 Bray Wyatt matches. Okay.
3
so
matches,
I'd like
right?
to,
Okay, yeah.
if you want to go first, you can go first. It doesn't matter.
Sure, I'll go first then. 5. Bray Wyatt versus Sting.
Yes.
But Here's the thing I want to see. I want to see Bray Wyatt versus Joker Sting.
Yeah. Or a combination of Crow Sting and Joker Sting.
Yes. Number 4. This match never happened, but it'd been interesting. I want to see Bray Wyatt and Shawn Michaels.
Could be a good wrestling match.
Bray Wyatt and Boogeyman. Never happened.
Yeah. Interesting.
Bray Wyatt and Doink.
That one would be fun. Especially if you have evil Doink.
Yeah. Evil Doink versus The Fiend.
Yes. And you gotta have Matt Bourne play Doink. Nobody else.
And then dream match. You know what? I want to see Ric Flair versus Bray Wyatt. Ric Flair in his prime versus Bray Wyatt.
No,
Ric Flair.
I don't know how. I don't think that makes sense.
That's my list is different. So
yeah, but that's just like, why would you think of that?
All right. Well, okay, Ryan. What's your 5 dream Bray Wyatt matches?
Okay.
Shots fired.
I think my 5 would absolutely have to make sense. Obviously.
Yeah.
Here's a good one: Bray Wyatt versus Raven.
Ooh. Yes. That would be excellent.
That would make a lot of freaking sense right there.
Oh yeah.
Because cult leader versus cult leader type of thing.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Okay, next one. Ooh. Bray Wyatt versus Sami Callihan. And they have a little bit of history. They have a little bit of history because knowing Sami when he was in WWE for a bit, he was around Bray early on. So that would be like, but if it's Sami Callihan versus Bray Wyatt, that would have been something right there. Okay.
Be interesting, yeah.
Let's think about this. Oh, here's another good one. Bray Wyatt versus Abyss.
Yeah, but that's another one I had.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, the only other one that I could think of that's as close to came, and I'm like, yeah, gotta go with the Monster Abyss. That would be so damn cool. Okay.
Rhino?
No. No, that wouldn't. That just probably wouldn't make sense at all. Okay, I'm trying to think. Okay. Who would work? I don't know. I know that they were partners, but I would have loved to have seen a Bray Wyatt versus Luke Harper match.
That happened. It was a dark match. I think they had 3 dark matches.
Never televised, but I'm guessing it never drew or something like that.
They had 3 dark matches and 2 house show matches.
That tells you they were trying to experiment and see if it would work, and I guess it didn't. But that I would have been really cool. But it's not that one. Oh wait, I can't say Braun. They actually did have matches against each other.
Yeah.
And that was during the pandemic. Let me think on this. Bray Wyatt versus who would have worked? Blah, 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 blah. Ooh. Bray Wyatt. And this can go back and forth with the different versions of both these guys. You can have a different version of Bray, let's say The Fiend, versus Bray Wyatt / Fiend versus Jeff Hardy / Willow.
That could be cool.
That would have been cool. Okay, and then the final one. The final one. The fifth and final one. For a dream match. When it comes to Bray Wyatt.
What was Jericho's dark character?
Painmaker? No, I don't know how I would feel about that. No. I don't think that would work.
I like how it comes out in Painmaker with Painkiller.
Oh, this one. I think this. Okay.
Yeah.
I know this would. This probably would have been really cool to have seen. Especially even though his time in there was brief. And by brief, I mean 2 matches. But Bray Wyatt versus Sting.
I already said that, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
Yeah, that wasn't even here. Okay, but I'm trying to think. Okay, since you already said Sting, I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm trying to think of who would actually another one that would make sense.
None of us said Mankind.
Well, then that would just be like Bray Wyatt, or say this would be Bray Wyatt versus Mick Foley. All 3 faces of Foley, basically. That's. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's obvious. You pretty much would have the happy-go-lucky Bray facing Dude Love, and then you'd have Cult Leader facing off against Mankind, and then it's Fiend versus Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But those are my 5. Raven, Abyss, obviously Mick Foley, Jeff Hardy / Willow, and then there was, what was the other one I mentioned? Sami Callihan.
Ryan, can I add something to that? What about Bray versus Jake Roberts?
Hold on a minute. I didn't do my 5 yet.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, let's let Ben do his 5 now.
All right, those were some damn good mentions. Okay, I've thought of one of them. Well, technically 2. Okay. Well, this one's not really going to be a Bray Wyatt solo match. It's more going to be a faction match. The Wyatt family versus the Brood.
Ooh.
That would be interesting. Okay, well, the other one was just mentioned, Bray Wyatt versus Jake Roberts. There could be some very dark, eerie stuff there. Some great promo work indeed between those two, going back and forth.
Yeah.
Some dark promo work. Okay, number 3. Okay, now this is where it might get a little well, not really. Okay, if you're thinking classic WWF, well, it can still be done good though. Bray Wyatt versus the Ultimate Warrior. I think that could be done pretty damn good. Because Ultimate Warrior did do some dark storylines back then, too. Like with Jake Roberts and Papa Shango.
Hey, Ben, did WCW have any dark characters?
They had a few. I mean, I don't know, I just can't think of the names of them right now. Okay, Bray Wyatt versus... Okay, I need 2 more here. Ooh, okay, I got one thing. Okay. Bray Wyatt versus Vampiro. That could be interesting. 2 dark characters again. Number 5.
I have some honorable mentions.
Ooh. More of a faction back in the territory days. But the Wyatt family versus the Legion of Doom.
There
Road Warriors and, well, Jake the Snake was a part of that too, but yeah, that's my 5.
Would have this worked? At one point, Ray versus Boss Man.
Maybe Attitude Era Boss Man when he was a little more.
Did we ever get Boss Man versus Funk?
No, not that I know of.
Attitude versus Era Boss Man versus Funk would have been interesting. Not really. That could have worked. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm trying to think how you would do that one. Attitude Era Boss Man against Terry Funk. How the hell would you do that storyline?
Have Terry Funk get arrested somehow. Storyline.
I mean, yeah, you could do that.
Speaking of getting arrested, Ben, another WWE dud that came up, Nails. Another dud.
Ooh. He didn't last too long after he choked out Vince McMahon.
No. That was a flop.
Yeah, well, he kind of screwed that up. The only thing I remember Nels is when he had that feud with the Big Boss Man. That's all I can.
Yeah.
I think that's the only feud he ever had in WWE.
Well, before he got fired, they were starting a Undertaker versus Nels feud, and apparently that was supposed to be the original match at WrestleMania 9. It was going to be Undertaker versus Nels instead of Giant Gonzalez. Then Nels fucked up and got himself fired, so I think he was only in WWF for maybe 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
I mean, they made an action figure of him, an LG, or not an LG, and one of those Hasbro figures.
Ooh, dang.
Yeah.
I wonder how he's doing now. Nails.
Boy, good question. Yeah, then he went to WCW. And I think he was only in WCW for maybe a month or 2. And I think he got fired from WCW too.
You know what I saw when we came to Friday Night SmackDown at the beginning of the show? I saw among all those at the front row was Eric Rowan for Bray. That literally surprised me, considering he doesn't work for them anymore. But then
Rowan has a bunch of friends. Rowan's one of the boys with. Supposedly it was Bray. Yeah. Supposedly Roman's clique in WWE was Bray, Seth, Rowan, Huber,
Harper,
Braun,
yeah,
Ziggler, Sheamus, and a few other guys. That was kind of that.
See, there was a picture of all of those. I think I saw a picture where it was all those guys, and they had the thing. Harper was among there. Bray was among them. Roman was definitely among them. Sheamus was. I saw Jericho in there. I saw the Primo and Epico were among them.
Yeah.
In a picture.
Suppose remember goes rounds that they would drink and party a lot and do the kind of the same stuff that Taker did with Yokozuna and Godfather, and which is interesting.
Yeah, I will say they definitely did a good job. I didn't watch the whole SmackDown episode, obviously, but I did see.
Here's this picture. It does have the Wyatt, and there's Harper, and there's Sheamus. Cesaro was among them. Chris Jericho, Epico and Primo, and Roman Reigns were among them.
Oh, if I can find it now. I did watch the where's it at here? Okay. Just looking for it. That's not it. No.
You know what's been cool, Ben? Another Wyatt family tag match that could have happened in the Attitude Era. DX versus the Wyatt family. Why didn't I fucking think about that?
That could have been good. That could have been good, I think.
Nice to have you in here, Johnny Autism Wrestling. He says, It's weird. I've been crying for Bray Wyatt all day. I'm still sad. I've been sad since yesterday.
No problem, brother.
We've all been.
Man? Yeah, man, we're all in shock because Bray Wyatt had so much more to give to wrestling,
Yeah.
I actually finished off. I actually drank what? What did I have today? Earlier when I was watching my Bray Wyatt match. Oh, I know what I did. I had some. I think I had 3 alcoholic beverages today throughout the day. That was bad for me. I had Hennessy. I had a Guinness. And then I went straight to the, what was it, Maker's Mark? Like, did a half bottle of that. I feel better now,
Right.
But that was earlier. That was last night when I found out earlier when Bray died. That's when I went straight to my bottle, and I regret doing it earlier,
Yeah. That's understandable. I mean, it's a shocking loss. I mean, nobody expected it.
But you know what's shocking? It's the same. I didn't do the same thing for Terry. I just kind of, said, oh, it sucks. It's a shame.
It's sad with Terry Funk too, but I guess the difference is Terry Funk had already achieved what he needed to, or he already achieved what he achieved in wrestling, and he was an old man anyways. I'm not trying to say that in an ignorant way. I mean,
and Bray was just out of nowhere, and it happened in the morning of all things. And I'm like, and I wake up and I was the one to share it with you guys, right? Because I was saying, wait a minute, this seems fake. Why is this being talked about?
Well, no, when I first saw it, I didn't think it was real either. Actually, I saw John post it on Facebook. I'm like, this can't be real. Then I went on Google and I looked it up. I'm like, okay, news feeds are starting to come out about this. It's real then. I was just shocked, dude.
And it shocked me. Not Triple H's post, but when Braun Strowman posted about and said "hoot" in quotations, both talking about Huber and then him. That's when it hit me.
Then, earlier today, I was really thinking. Well, when I got home from work, I was really thinking about it. I'm like, wow, he's really gone. Like I said, it just sucks. It really sucks for wrestling too.
I don't want to think about the day. Then I know. I say, oh, we can't wait for Vince McMahon to die, but it's still going to be a sad day for the wrestling community. Regardless.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. I mean, we say all this shit about Vince McMahon, but it's going to be sad when he passes away because he was basically the one that pioneered sports entertainment, and took wrestling to the mainstream.
We wouldn't have WC. We really wouldn't have WCW or ECW or AEW or TNA or Impact without Vince McMahon. Hot take. Take it or leave it.
No, it's true in a lot of ways. I mean, if WrestleMania 1 would have failed back in 1985, well, WWF would have gone bankrupt, and wrestling probably wouldn't have been mainstream at all. It would have still been in the underground. It probably still would have been very territorial. Yeah. I mean,
that's another segue we could do on another wrestling stream if we choose. We could do a stream where we talk about what if WrestleMania 1 failed and WWE didn't get as big. What would this scene would have looked?
Yeah, it'd be really interesting. I mean, that's actually a really interesting idea for a future stream.
Yeah.
But now there was something I was going to say about Bray Wyatt, and I totally forgot now.
You know what also hit my bell? We could also, what's scary? We could still lose Hogan. We could still lose Ric Flair, which is scary to think about. That's going to be a sad day.
Yeah.
It's going to be a sad day.
Jake Roberts.
I mean, for me, yeah, despite the bad that Hogan and Flair have done in public or whatever, when it comes down to what got me into wrestling, it was Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair for me back in the 80s. So it's definitely going to be a hard day when they go, which I don't want to think about, but eventually it will happen.
I mean, it sucks for me and Ryan's generation. It was kind of John Cena and that whole era. No comment.
Yeah.
I mean, well, we all have age gaps, and we come from, it's just human nature. We come from different eras, when it comes to things. Like me.
The one that's gonna hurt me. I'm sorry, Ben. The one wrestling death that'll probably hurt me the most. That'll take a long time for me to get over. Probably Undertaker for me.
Same.
That would hurt. Undertaker, Hogan, Flair, those are the three guys. Even Stone Cold and The Rock would hurt too.
Mick Foley would be a very bad one.
Yes, I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing to happen. But I mean,
it's weird. What was it? What was it? 5 years ago, we almost lost Ric Flair when he went into the hospital. Right? Didn't that happen?
Yeah, he almost passed away.
Yeah,
he almost passed away. He made it though.
He made it, and he had that horrible match against Jay Lethal.
You know what? I still never watched that match in its entirety. I couldn't make it through the first 2 minutes of that match. It just gave me a sad feeling seeing a 70. How old would he have been in 2022? 73?
I'm going to look up. Wait. Hey, Ryan, can you look up how old Ric Flair is currently?
He's 74, I'm pretty sure. He'll be 75 in February.
Damn.
But then a while ago, he was talking about doing another match. It's like, come on, dude, you can't do another match.
74.
That's right.
Hey, he was talking about doing another match just a few months ago. I'm like, no, don't do it.
He was talking about doing a match in WWE against Hulk Hogan as one final match. I'm like, nobody wants to see that. Back then, okay, yeah. Now, no.
Well, that match should have happened way back at WrestleMania 8, and who knows what really... Well, Hogan was on his way out at the time.
Yeah.
I mean... I don't know. There's a couple different stories where Hogan didn't want to lose, Flair didn't want to lose, and that's why it never happened.
Weren't we discussing doing Bash at the Beach 95 at one point?
You know what? We were. And eventually we're going to get to WrestleMania 2 also.
Yeah.
I didn't forget about it.
No.
Yeah.
Ooh, another good Terry Funk match that came to my idea. Luchasaurus versus Terry Funk.
Ooh, yeah. That's pretty good stuff. There was something in WCW that happened near the end of WCW. Oh, God. What the hell was it? It was Terry Funk against... Man, what's it, Jeff Jarrett? I can't even remember. God, now I don't remember.
You know what I'll give credit to? Daddy Ass. What's his name? I forget. You know who I mean, right? Not Road Dogg. Road Dogg, or is it? Yeah, Road Dogg. What is it? Jesse? Yeah, which one it is? You know who I'm talking about. Not Jesse James, the other one.
Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn.
He's reinvented himself in AEW. He's had some good, he can still go.
Yeah, didn't he just retire? Or is that just storyline that he retired?
Storyline, he retired, he's back, and he's no longer Daddy Ass. Supposedly, he's he's just called Gunn.
Just Gunn?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy still looks good for his age. I mean, he's almost 60. He still looks like he pretty much always has.
I also heard after the death match between, what was it, Hardy and Jeff Jarrett, all that. Supposedly, people are saying that might be AEW's worst match of the year in the running, just because of nobody really cared for it.
That match was over the top. I watched the end of the match. It was definitely.
You heard what happened to Hardy after the match. Guess where they found Hardy? They had to stop him. They found him at a bar later that night after the match.
I didn't even know about that.
Luckily they stopped him. But
good. Yeah, I don't get that. I'm still kind of 50-50 on whether Jeff Hardy should still be wrestling or not.
No. He's relapsed how many times?
Quite a bit. Eventually he's gonna fucking relapse and do something similar to what Sonny did and kill somebody.
Yeah, since you brought that up, didn't I share that earlier? What was it, last week or something? I shared that article.
She's getting. Well, she doesn't. Yeah. She don't need to be out on the street.
No, yeah. Dude, you saw it in her face. She looked fucked up.
She looks horrible now. She looks terrible now, man.
Yeah. As someone who hasn't aged well. She hasn't aged well.
No, she looks terrible. I don't even think she's 50 yet.
No,
that's what's even worse.
She's in her mid-40s.
No, I think she's gonna be 50. I think she's 49. She looks horrible, though. I mean,
drugs. What do you expect?
Yeah, she looks like she's about 70. Yeah. And there's even 70-year-olds that look better than her. Yeah,
supposedly they said she committed manslaughter. They found her over the legal limit, and then they said she was also on cocaine and I think meth.
Oh yeah, there was a bunch of different shit she was on. Alcohol, cocaine,
meth,
prescription medication, all kinds of crazy shit she was on.
Yeah. I just pray Jeff Hardy doesn't go back down that road. Yeah. You know.
Well, Sonny deserves to rot in prison because she was on she was on an episode of Dark Side of the. Well, it's pre-recorded, and she was making fun of. Yeah, she was making fun of these DUIs she got.
Idiot.
It's like, yeah, exactly. She totally lost it, man.
The one Dark Side of the Ring episode that still upset me. You remember the one where they had Jake Roberts and Terry Funk? Remember that one?
Yeah.
That was one of the early
Yeah.
ones.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off.
All right, brother.
All right, dude.
Talk to y'all next week since I'll be actually home. So,
all right. Enjoy your vacation.
Yeah, let's just
what I have left of it anyway, because Saturday's probably it. So, yep. I will see y'all back when I'm back home again.
Yeah.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Some
things are going to be different when I'm back home. So, yep. Peace.
Peace.
All right. Peace out, man.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if you want to segue and maybe do a hangout stream for a bit. You want to go to the other?
We can hang out. What time is it?
It's 11:46.
I was gonna say, I think we could probably still get Flick a Switch in tonight, if you want to. Well, maybe we'll hold off on that one. Yeah, we'll hold off on that one. I mean,
I know. Levi streamed. What was it, a few days ago with Nick and Ryan and them? Which, was out of the blue. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got an invite for that stream, but obviously I had to work and couldn't do it.
I got an invite too, but I was sleeping, so I didn't know.
I'm thinking about asking Levi if he wanted to join our next Metal Bastards hangout stream.
Oh yeah. I'd be down. Yeah.
But so right now what I'm doing is there's not really anybody. I'm just seeing if any streams are going on YouTube at the moment.
I know Scott was doing a stream earlier.
Ooh, that's right. It's Friday night. Heavy Metal Orgy's live right now. They always do cool streams.
They're always a good channel. I enjoy their content.
Oh, yeah. I just bought one of their shirts a couple of days ago. Should be in the mail by Monday. Anybody else?
I still need to get shirts.
Totally. That looks like Heavy Metal Orgy's the only one that's live at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, you made a video earlier today. You talked about your 10 Essential Black Metal.
Oh, yes. That's up on my channel right now. Pretty much a reaction to Jeff's stream he did a couple weeks ago. Finally got time to do it today.
You know what's funny? I've been on a Tom Petty binge this whole week.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Some Tom Petty.
And I wanted to ask you this, but what would be your favorite Tom Petty studio album?
Boy, that's a tough one, considering I don't think I've ever listened to a full Tom Petty album. Maybe when I was really did.
And I think we're coming up on an anniversary of one of his famous albums with Full Moon Fever. Coming up with an anniversary. That's an album on my list I want to kind of do a video talk about, or stream and talk about. It's one of them.
That would be interesting, probably.
What would be and I also want us to do a stream on one of the Cannibal Corpse albums, but not the Barnes era. I want to talk about one of the more underrated albums from the other era. You know who I mean, right?
Yeah, with Corpse Grinder.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's quite a few albums we could talk about when it comes to that. I'm thinking, oh man, my favorite's Man, there's a lot of good Corpse Grinder albums. Vile's probably my favorite, the first one he did. Gallery of Suicide is good. Gore Obsessed. That's a good one. I used to have that on CD. I need to get it again.
2006's Kill.
Oh, yeah. The time to kill is now.
Investigation Plague from 2009.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of good Cannibal Corpse. And we got the new one coming out in September.
Skeletal Domain. That's another good one. 2014.
Oh, yeah.
Red Before Black.
Red Before Black was good.
So we got So a single just came out, Summon for Sacrifice.
Ooh, I liked it. Yeah, this one seems like it has a little bit of a groovier vibe.
Okay, what would the Bleeding sound like if it wasn't Barnes, if it was just Corpse Grinder? What would have it sounded with all those tracks on it?
Well, I could actually picture Corpse Grinder. I mean, he's done those songs live too. I think it would sound good with Corpse Grinder. Like if he would have been in the band already.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you, Ben. If you want to switch over to our Bastards podcast for a bit, we can just bullshit and talk about music for a bit. It's up to you.
I think I might do that. I mean,
right.
the night's still kind of young for me.
Same. I don't got any plans.
All right. We'll switch over there and see if anybody joins in.
So I'm just going to exit out of here. Oh, yeah. So, before we go, we're just going to plug this real quick before we go. Yeah. Be Macho Mike. And subscribe to the Extreme Bastards Wrestling Podcast.
That's right. And yes, this is a very young channel. I think we only have like 8 subscribers on here. So if anybody does come across this, definitely hit that subscribe button. We're definitely trying to build this channel up if we can. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that stuff. And again,
go check out our other podcast channels, by the way.
Yes, we have another podcast channel called the Metal Bastards Hangout Podcast, where it's strictly music. And of course, I got my regular YouTube channel, Metal Ben's Chronicles, Mean Metal Mike has. Yep.
Where I do mostly drumming stuff, drumming videos.
So yeah, man, subscribe to all the social medias if you can that we have. And by the way, I do got a little announcement. Well, I haven't decided if I'm going to start an Instagram for this. I might. But I am going to start a Metal Bastards Hangout Podcast Instagram. Hopefully sometime this week I'll get to it. Anyways, again, rest in peace to Terry Funk. And rest in peace to Bray Wyatt.
And remember, keep wrestling extreme.
All right, guys. Peace out. We are done. Oops. Wrong outro. I apologize for that. All right. I apologize for that. We are out.